guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. So I am just getting started with meal prep. Today you're going to see some turkey sloppy joes that I'm going to make into bowls. So I'm going to do the sloppy joe mix, and then I'm also going to roast up the veggies for the bowls. Have those all ready to go. Then all I have to do is just heat them up on the day I have them for either lunch or dinner. I'm going to be making a chicken stew, and then I'm also going to be doing a turkey veggie skillet. So I have all my veggies all cut up. Let me turn you around and show you that. And then we'll get started. I will have, of course, all these recipes linked down below in the description box. I do tend to deviate from recipes, as you guys know, so I kind of make them my own. I am working on a website. I've been doing it for a very long time. I don't think I'm going to be able to finalize it until later this year, but that is my goal, to get that done this year. Then that way I have a place to put all of my recipes to share with you guys, because like I said, I use recipes for inspiration, but then I totally change them to make them either Weight Watcher friendly or just to make them my own. So let me go ahead and show you what I have started right now. So all the veggies are cut for the most part. Oh, I'm also going to make an egg salad if I have time. So all the veggies though are cut for everything else. So this is going to be for the veggie skillet. This is going to be for the chicken stew, and both of these are going to be for the sloppy joes. So those will be for the bowls, and this will be for the actual sloppy joe mix. So I like to get this part done in meal prep first, get everything all cut up and ready to go. That way I can just bust right into the meals, and this tedious part is done. When it's time to make the egg salad, if I have time for it, I will cut up a red onion and a green onion to go ahead and go in that salad, but I didn't want to cut those up because I'm not sure if I'm going to get to that point. I do like to set a time limit for my meal prep. I like to meal prep and take an hour. However, with filming and moving my tripod around and having to organize stuff for filming, it takes me about an hour and a half. But I like to, and that's from start to finish, from getting everything out, getting it cooked, getting it everything cleaned up. So about 90 minutes is my goal. So I usually set a timer for about 90 minutes, and then what I can get done, I get done. But since I chopped all these veggies, I want to get these meals done for sure, but I'm not going to chop the ones for the egg salad because that'll be the last thing I do. I can do that really easily throughout the week. So I just like to meal prep the things that take a little bit longer. But an hour meal prep is is my goal. But like I said, with filming and everything, it usually takes about 90 minutes. But all these things are really simple, and getting all the cutting up the veggies out of the way, definitely highly recommend doing that. That way you don't have to stop and cut up veggies, and you can just see what you need. So all of this is done. It took me 15 minutes to do, and now all that part is done. So now let's go ahead and move into, I think we're going to do the chicken stew first. The ingredients you're going to need for the stew. Now I am changing the recipe that I'm linking down below, so keep that in mind. What I'm using, so the veggies I'm using, I have some carrots here. I used 3 large whole carrots, 1/4 of an onion, 3 stalks of celery, and 6 ounces of potatoes that I diced up into quarters. And these are just the little small potatoes, so they have a really thin skin. You need some chicken here. So these were 2 big chicken breasts. Some tomato paste. I'm using garlic paste in place of minced garlic. You need some smoked paprika, thyme, and sage. Worcestershire, a 1/3 cup of flour. You need 4 cups of chicken broth and 1 1/4 cup of dry white wine, but I'm not using wine, so I'm going to do 5 cups of chicken broth, which I use the better than bouillon. Then you need 3 tablespoons of butter. The thing we need to do is brown up our chicken. So I have some cooking spray in there, and then I just put my chicken in there. So we're going to go ahead and get this all browned up. You don't need to cook it through, we just want to brown it on all sides. Move the chicken, and now I'm adding in the veggies. I'm just going to give them a nice caramelization on them, and then I'll add the chicken back in. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to my veggies here for my stew. Veggies are done. I think before I add the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and add in the Worcestershire, the tomato paste, and the herbs. Mix that up. Okay, all of those are in there. We're just going to mix this up, get the herbs kind of warm and activated so the flavor's real good. What I really encourage you to do with herbs is to put them in before the liquid, and it helps to just release the flavor into the food. Then we're going to go ahead and add in the flour, and then we'll add in the chicken, and then the broth, and lastly the butter. Okay, here's the flour. So I'm just going to stir it around just to kind of get that flour taste out. If you don't stir it around before you add in the liquid, you could still kind of taste the flour. So you want to, again, just kind of stir it around, get it all mixed in. And then I'm going to add in the chicken. I meant to add in the chicken first, but I forgot. So we'll add in our chicken here. I'm doing this totally different than the recipe. The recipe just had so many steps. So I'm making this the same way I make beef stew. Just different ingredients. Okay, so that stirred around really well. Now I have my chicken broth here with my bouillon in the bottom, so I'm gonna have to scrape all that out. Okay, I have that in there. I'm gonna add in my butter, and this is 3 tablespoons of butter, of that light butter I showed you. Now I'm gonna bring this to a boil, and then we're just gonna simmer it until I'm done with meal prep. It says to only simmer it until your chicken's all done, but honestly, like with stew, the longer you let it simmer, the better the flavor. So this is the first thing I'm making, so I'm gonna let this simmer for like the next hour, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's been simmering for that long. This smells amazing, by the way. For the turkey sloppy joes, we're gonna need a pound of ground turkey. Use whatever kind you want. I have the 937. It just has more flavor and it's a lot cheaper. Again, I will have the original recipe linked down below, but I am changing it up a little bit. So then we need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. We need 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, a 1/3 cup of sugar-free barbecue sauce, a tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, a small can, this is a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. We need a 1/2 teaspoon each of chili powder and garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and pepper, a 1/3 of an onion, and a 1/3 of a green bell pepper. Just going to put all of this in a skillet and cook it up. To make sloppy joe bowls, so to go along with the sloppy joes, I have 2 servings of potatoes here, so I did 6 ounces, so 3 ounces each, and then some green beans. I'm going to put them in a bowl with a 1/2 tablespoon of avocado oil, put them in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes until they're nice and roasted up. So that'll go along with my sloppy joes. Also adding in some of this buttery steakhouse rub from Kinder's. And these are ready to go into the oven. So for the sloppy joes, I'm going to start off by sauteing up the green bell pepper and the onion and add in a little bit of salt and pepper. And then when those get softened, we'll add in the turkey. Okay, so this one for the sloppy joes is ready to add in the ground turkey. Time to add in the spices, and I have everything in here: the barbecue sauce, the Worcester, the mustard, and the apple cider vinegar. I put all together. And we have the tomato sauce, and then I have the chili powder, and I decided to onion powder as well: chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. We're gonna mix these up. I'm gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes or so. Because I noticed with sloppy joes, the longer you let it simmer, the better. So I'm just gonna let this do its thing for a while, and then I will have the potatoes and the green beans out, and I'll put my bowls together and show you what they look like. Alrighty, here are my sloppy joe bowls. So I still have 2 more servings of the sloppy joes that I can have like on a bun or in another bowl, but I wanted to make 2 up for sure so I could have these for either lunch or dinner one day. So I have the sloppy joes with the green beans and the roasted potatoes. For my last meal of the week, I'm going to do a veggie turkey skillet. I will have the recipe linked down below. I'm only changing one slight thing. So you need a pound of ground turkey. We need some salt and pepper, some Italian herbs, probably about 2 teaspoons. I don't usually measure Italian herbs out. A can of fire roasted tomatoes. You need some garlic paste or minced garlic. I'm using garlic paste. Zucchini, broccoli, and onion, as much as you want. Now it does call for shredded Colby Jack, but I'm going to use 2 of these wedges of Laughing Cow instead to make it creamy. And we're just going to throw it all in the skillet. It's just a 1 skillet meal, which is quick and easy and amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the skillet, and this will be good for a lunch or dinner. So for the veggie turkey skillet, we're going to go ahead and saute up the zucchini, broccoli, and onions before we add in the turkey. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt and pepper as well. We are ready to add the ground turkey to the veggie turkey skillet. Okay, we are going to add in now our can of fire roasted tomatoes, our Italian herbs. Give that a stir before I add the cheese in. Alrighty, so I'm going to do 2 of these wedges of this white cheddar Laughing Cow. Hopefully they mix up well. You're going to have to probably work with it a little bit. Sometimes the Laughing Cow can be a little bit hard to incorporate. I may do 1 more wedge. Let's see how these mix up and if I want it a little bit creamier. I think I'm going to do 1 more wedge. So do 3 wedges of the Laughing Cow if you make this exactly how I am. 3 wedges is perfect. Sometimes you just have to play around with the recipe, but you guys look at this. And I can't even tell you how good it smells. It just has, you can smell those herbs, and then the fire roasted tomatoes are by far. So definitely get those for sure. Don't just settle for regular diced tomatoes. Look for the fire roasted because guarantee it'll make a huge difference in the taste. I wish I would have put 1 more zucchini. This was a rather large zucchini. I did have a tiny one, but I do wish I had put more. I may saute up some the day I have this and toss it on top or something. So maybe use like 2 full zucchinis. Like I said, I used 1 large one, but we'll see. Anyway, look at that, you guys. Doesn't that look so good and so easy? What I plan on doing is pairing this with like some rice cauliflower, a salad on the side, something like that. But high in protein, low in calories, packed with veggies. Here we have our turkey cheesy veggie skillet. So like I said, packed full of protein, packed full of veggies with that nice creamy cheesy texture. Okay, my stew is all done. You guys, it just smells so good. I cannot wait to have this. This will be good for lunch and for dinner. Trying to get a good picture. Okay, so let's look at everything that I meal prepped. So we have the chicken stew here. We have our creamy veggie skillet, our sloppy joe bowls, and then I did cut up some pineapple to have for snacking. So I had a little mini pineapple that I went ahead and cut up. And that is everything, you guys. Thanks for joining me for another meal prep video. Let me know down in the comments, what did you guys meal prep this week? Be sure to check out that description box to see all the recipes. And like I said, I did make some changes, so you can see just the original recipes down there below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.